Hey guys, what's up? Eddie Yahoo here with Fosi Audio. That's pretty cool. We have Fosi Audio in the lab. I've done some other reviews on Fosi Audio. Where is it? Yeah, I've done this one. This one is, what was this one? This one was the BT20A, okay? So I'll put the links down below if you want to see that. Now, what I'm doing these days is I'm using the Quant Asylum down here, okay? And I also have something new I'm going to show you down here. So I have some nice instruments I can show distortion. I'm also using the Omicron Labs Bode 100 so I can do Bode plots and I can look at noise and stuff. Well, between these instruments, like this Quant Asylum, here, let me just look at the numbers. This thing is a 24-bit analog ADC, so that's analog to digital converter, and digital to analog converter. So 24 bits. That's crazy, okay? Now, just in case you kind of forget what that bit thing is, like an oscilloscope, a general oscilloscope for years, these digital scopes have been 8-bit. So that's 256 slices. So they convert the analog signal into digital. So if the analog signal comes in, now these guys can go to, what is it, 400 volts input, but it takes a big voltage range. Now a lot of audio stuff is a lot less than that, right? But it'll take that voltage range and it'll slice it up into 256 slices. So whatever voltage range that you're looking on the scope, whatever scale you're on, you can divide that by 256. So let's just pretend you're looking at 256 volts. You know, basically every 1 volt you're getting, it's a stair step, right? So it's taking a reading 256 times and converts it to digital. I've been pushing for high bit scopes for a long time. I just think it's crazy that we're still doing 8-bit. And lately you've seen these 10 and 12-bit scopes come out, right? And it's kind of funny. I've been pushing that for a long time. Finally happening. This O1's done it a while ago because they jumped in. They're like, oh, what's this 8-bit crap? So they did 14-bit scopes. That's a 14-bit scope. Also my Pico scopes, Picotech, they do 12, 14-bit scopes. So yeah, a lot of those things. Now what does 14 bits do? Well, then you get just over 4,000 things instead of 256. So you can take that, say 256 volts, divide it by 4,000 instead of 256. So instead of getting 1 volt scales, you're getting like, you know, you're getting a lot better, right? You're getting like, what is 1 volt divided by 8? So you're getting 1/8 of a volt slice. So every 1 volt that you got on the 8-bit scope, you're getting 8 slices of that. So it slices of it, and it looks at that voltage level, and then it converts it to digital. And so it's a staircase. So they will do different methods. You know, one way to look at it is just a filter, capacitor that kind of smooths out those edges when it converts it back to analog. So they divide it down like that, right? Well, when you have 24 bits like this Quant Asylum down here, that's like almost 17 million. It's like 16.8 million steps. So now you got these incredibly small steps of voltage that you can convert to digital. So you take that and you slice up into, you know, millions of little voltage readings, right? So you can see, like, maybe, you know, instead of 1 volt, now you're down to like 1 millivolt, that kind of thing. Or even, it's actually less than that, it's microvolts, right? So you're getting these really fine measurements. Well, then when you're going to, let me show you something here. I got off on a tangent, sorry about that. But let me show you something what I have down here. See all these blue boxes? Look what I got here. This is a ZD3. So this is a DAC. So this guy here, he is 32 bits. So he takes the digital to analog. So he'll take the digital and then 32-bit increments, which comes out to like over 4,000 million. It got 4 to the 9th power, okay? So you get 4 billion little bits, okay, that you're reading, that you're converting back to analog. So wow, you don't need much capacitance to even out those staircases, right? So this guy is incredible. It's an incredible DAC, all right? So that's what I just got. Now, they also gave me the ZA3. So thank you, Fosi, for sending these to me for free. Now, I think one or two of these I bought, you know, like the other one, I think I bought the V3, I think they sent to me for free. And then I think I bought this one. This one is the BT30D, okay? Now, here, the Z3, they went to the Z3 and they added, I think it was German inductors and Japanese capacitors, okay? So they tried to go high-end with, or was it, you know what, I think it was German film capacitors, and electrolytics are Japanese, and I think the inductors are also Japanese, I think. So that's what they did with this guy. Then with the ZA3, they stepped up the game again. They said, well, we're going to put a bigger case and more thermal capacity. So we're going to make it so you can actually get those watts out of that Texas Instrument chip that's become so popular. That's the TPA3255 that's become really popular. It's a really great chip. So they've, and I believe on the ZA3, we'll have to look at, but I think also they completed the feedback loop outside the LC filters. So I think they improved the feedback on this one as well. So I want to compare the ZA3 to this V3, okay? So I think what I'll do is I'll start off testing this BT30D, and then we'll test the V3 next to the ZA3, okay? And we'll see if we can actually measure anything different. Does the Bode plot look as flat and the same? Does the power at 4 ohms and 8 ohms look the same? We're going to look at the THD at those levels too. So we'll do THD across power levels and across frequency. And then we're going to look at the ZD3, this DAC. This DAC looks pretty amazing. And you know what? I think we'll use this DAC to also test these amps to see what the throughput from input to output looks like, okay? So between these two guys here, I think what they're kind of showing on their website or whatever is this DAC with maybe 2 of these. You can put these in mono block if you want that extra power. So to get that optimal audio station, maybe you use one of these and you feed it into 2 of these. And for a relatively low cost for audiophile type quality, there you go. So can we get there? I don't know. I haven't tested this yet. Just been reading literature. But the stuff I have tested, and also with other competing brands like AIMA, who use the same kind of technology, man, I believe these guys are doing really well. And there's a lot of reviewers have seen these things, and they're giving the thumbs up too. Now, the ZA3 is a newer device. I'm kind of wondering if they went to the black with the ZD3, but maybe like this is a sticker they put on this. Maybe the new ZA3 boxes will come in a nice black silky box like this, because I think what they're saying down here is this is redefining hi-fi with unmatched value, where before they said home audio expert. So I think they're starting to feel their feel the muscles there that they're giving, and they're starting to flex a little bit. So yeah, I think these guys probably have a lot of high-end audio people, a lot of audiophiles nervous because their trade names they're used to. These guys are starting to, now we got to test this stuff, but I have good feelings about it. So anyway, there we go. I'm going to open the boxes of these guys and just show you how they come packaged and what their box. They come packaged very well. They're all very similar inside, but I'll just show you what they look like physically next to each other. So let's take a look at that. And then, yeah, after this, the next videos will be test videos. This is just kind of introduce what we're looking at and ask you guys what kind of tests you want to see me do, that kind of thing. But anyway, let's open up these boxes, take a look at these guys next to each other. Now, one thing we know, I think if you're familiar with these Class D amps, is the power supplies they provide, right? Well, they're doing a better job on those too. There's a voltage range and a current range, basically a power range of these little bricks that they send with these guys, right? And you can imagine, like with this one, he's bigger box, he's probably going to have a higher power brick compared to the earlier V3. Well, the thing is the V3 has an option of 2 different power bricks you can get with it. And I want to say it's like it's a significant cost difference. It's like 40 bucks. So yeah, the power supply is an important part of the audio amplifier, right? Now, here's the, with the audio amplifier, some of them, they'll say, well, you can get this higher voltage, 48 volts, 5 amps versus 32 volts. Or they'll say, hey, you can go 48 volts, 10 amps. So, what gives you the extra power is you have to go the voltage range, right? Especially in the 8 ohms. You have to have more volts to get power. But then you also have to have the current to supply it. But usually, when you go higher, you'll get a better power rating at 8 ohms, right? Because it's voltage. And so then at 4 ohms, okay, now you don't need that voltage, but now you need the current. So for a power supply that can do both the volts and the current, that's what you want. Because you want that linear power from when your speakers, the ohmage is changing on your speakers. You want the amplifier not to be hindered by that. You want it to be able to provide the voltage when it needs to during the higher ohms, and provide the current when your speaker drops into the lower ohms. So that's what a dynamic or a higher power amplifier is going to sound like. Is, that's where it's going to come alive, is when you have that power supply, that brick. So we're going to take a close look at the brick. As a matter of fact, I think this is one here. Yeah. So I got this extra Fosi, and I think I bought this one. So I bought this Fosi brick because I wanted to test these amplifiers with a higher power brick. So I bought, this big guy, okay? So this is a Fosi brand, and it's 48 volts, 5 amps. There's a 10 amp version. And I couldn't find the 10 amp version when I bought this one, but I've had it for a little while. So I'm going to take a look, see if I can find a 10 amp. But look at the size of that. So, and honestly, right now, I think this one does come with this. And this may as well. I forget. Anyway, we're going to find out. Let's open up the box. Let's take a look. But I do have this one that I bought. Yeah, I'm sure I bought this one because I went searching for this guy. So I was looking for a 48 volt 10 amp because I wanted to max out. Now I can use some of my bench power supplies to get that full power, but I wanted to use the brick that you might buy to show you that. Okay. Now here, I'm going to bring up this one. Look at this guy. This one says 48 volts, 5 amps. This one's rated the same as this Fosi. Look at the size difference of the Fosi. About the same thickness. Fosi is a little bit thicker. But yeah, look at the size difference between this one and this Fosi. 48 volts, 5 amps. So I think Fosi's doing a nice job, right? All right, let me open up these guys and let's look side by side what they look like, okay? And give me ideas about how you guys like to see them tested, all right? Kind of excited. Well, I'm really excited about this, actually. I've got other amplifiers that I'm looking at over here, a brand that you probably haven't heard of, and I also have a stack of IEMAs. And so I'm really anxious. I got an IEMA preamp back here too. So I'm going to do some mixing and matching to see how well they work together as well. But for now, I'm really excited to get the ZD3 and the ZA3 working together. And I got some speakers over here. I'll have to show you some new speakers sitting in a box for a year. I just haven't had time to get to them. I bought those, and we're going to put those speakers with some systems and start listening to them as well. Okay? All right, let's come over to the bench. Let's take a look at this guy here. I think this is the BT. Oh, here. I want to start off with the BT30D, okay? And this is a Pro, all right? So let's just look inside. Now, you see this kind of dense foam. It's on the top. And there's a plastic bag that this guy was in, but I've had it out, and I actually took it to my buddy's house, and we actually listened to it, and we liked it. So this one has the bass treble and subwoofer stuff, okay? And then the on-off switch over here with the volume over here. And none of them are quickies. They're just nice smooth pots, okay? So that's the way they are. And then you can see the speaker outputs and the RCA inputs, DC and the USB. So it is USB, okay? So that's what that looks like. And the one I got with this was 32 volts, 5 amps, okay? So that's the way it comes. Power cord, the manual, specifications too, and the antenna, okay, the Bluetooth antenna. And like I said, this was in a plastic bag. So I just want to say it comes packaged very nice. Again, manual, same kind of foam. And look, here's the V3. Now, a little bit smaller box than the BT 30D. But you can see the vent holes on top, already something different. Vent holes on bottom. And on the backs, they're RCA with speaker outputs. So this one had the subwoofer, but other than that, it's the same, pretty much the same kind of construction from the outside, right? You can see the 4 volts to 48 volts here, and this goes up to 36. So that guy is going to be more power limited just because it's a 36 volt brick, and this guy can go up to 48. And you can see the thermal, and you can see you might be able to see the heat sink underneath here. Here's just holes I can see through. Here I can see a heat sink, and it looks like it's mounted by those holes. So there you go, nice little music note there. But yeah, and the terminals are the same as the other one, kind of small, compact terminals, okay? So, and this, again, nice and small, but the on-off is right there, clicky, okay? And there's the kind of plastic bag they come in, power cord, but this guy is 32 volts, 5 amps, okay? Just to show you physical size, they're the same. They're both 32 volt, 5 amps, so it's the same adapter, okay? Now, this one also will come in the higher voltage adapter, okay? Higher current, higher voltage. Well, no, I think it's a higher voltage, same current, okay? But that way you can get the higher volts with, or the higher power at the 8 ohms, all right? So here, I'm going to put that one over there. Okay, let's look at the ZA3. Again, just a thicker piece of foam, okay? Just kind of showing you how it's packed. And there's the manual. Feels like a little thicker manual, plastic bag, of course. And look at that big power supply. But here you go. We want to compare these. The power levels are supposed to be similar, but you can see this one has the heat sinking. This one's really dressed up. I mean, they're starting to dress up the game, right? Now, I think you can get the copper knob on that one. I'm actually not sure. I think you can. But anyway, look at this. Same kind of compact terminals here. But you also get the inputs, XLR inputs. So you get the differential inputs. Same kind of range, 24 to 48. So you get this triggered output. And you get a sub output on this one. So a little bit, you also get the sub, where this one, you didn't have that. So, okay, so there's what it looks like next to each other. You can see how much thicker this guy is. Even in the center, he's a little bit thicker than this guy, okay? It's not just on the ends, where you can kind of see it's tapered in here. It comes thick on this ends, but there's the same heat sink, I'm sure. Look at that. The hole spacing for this guy and that guy are very similar, okay? Just guessing. It's just rotated on that one. But yeah, isn't that a nice looking box? Okay, so heat sinking on this one. Now the dial on this one is just smooth all the way around because the power switch is right here. So that's the other difference. So now you can set your volume and turn on and off. So that's definitely an upgrade, I think, from having a single knob, you know, with the thing. Now, I think these are log pots too, as well, okay? Mono stereo. There's no mono stereo adjustment on this one, okay? So just showing you the difference. Now, look at this. We step up and this one to the bigger power supply. Okay, this one is the 48 volt 5 amp. This is the one I just showed you in the box I bought. So I didn't actually have to buy it because I got one with this one. But yeah, I've had them around here for a bit. But yeah, that's it. So that's what it looks like in comparison to this guy, 32 volt 5 amp. Okay, you can see the difference in the size of these guys. But like I said, that other brand, here's this other brand. Same thing, 48 volt 5 amp. And you can see this one is actually the same case as that guy, right? But with Fosi, you get a lot bigger power supply. I should open up the two and compare them, right? All right, guys, let's take a look at the new ZD3. Maybe that's what you're here for. Okay, first of all, look at the box. The box is different, right? It's got that saying across the bottom that's different. So Fosi sticker. Okay, just kind of show you the box since it's new to me. It's the first time I've seen this box. Nothing on the bottom really. It says open. So let's open it. All right, same thick foam on top. Same thing inside. It's a nice thick manual. And let's see, what's this guy? Okay, we got a remote control. And this is the way they come. This is brand new. I haven't even looked at this one yet, guys. There we go. And look at that. Okay, I was just looking at how it's indented here. Okay, there's the back end. So this is, in this case, it's output XLRs. So this guy is putting outputs, RCAs here, coax. We have this trigger in and out, HDMI, USB. Look at that, optical input. And here's our 12 volt. Because in this case, we're not doing power. We're just doing a bunch of processing. And then we have this antenna that was already there, just tightening it down. And we get the sticker here. And let me see. I feel a little indents on this guy. Has a nice filling. It goes all the way around. But it's nice indented filling. Yeah. So let's look at it next to... There we go, guys. Which way do you want to put them? Man, look at that. Isn't that? That's a nice look. I think they did a nice job. And that's an OLED display. So we'll have to turn that display on so you can see it, okay? Yeah, we'll have to do that. Let's do it right now. Well, let me show you the power cord. There's USB, okay? And so it looks like you can go totally USB. I don't know what this is. Oh my gosh, I think I know what's in here. This is crazy. I think this is... What the heck? That's what I thought it was. Optional op amps. That is crazy. 3 optional op amps they give you. Wow, that is really cool. I was not expecting that. Okay, you guys probably want to know what they are, huh? We're going to do that testing next time. Look at this. Here's a little... All right, so you get this little thing. I wonder if that's for the trigger output. Huh, that's interesting. And then here's our switching adapter, so we can do it this way. And let's see what the display looks like. All right, guys, got it plugged in there. Whoa, look at that. It just... I guess there's no on and off. It just comes on. There you go. That's pretty cool, huh? Nice display. Let's look and see if there's a sticker. I can't tell if there's something I'm supposed to peel off. But yeah, USB 44. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Oh, this button pushes too. Oh, look at that. It's trying to pair. Sorry, nothing to pair to. So pretty cool, right? PCM. Okay, so I wonder if there's an app with this. I don't even know. I imagine there's probably an app. And look at this. On the bottom, you got bypass or off. So there you go, guys. That's a nice display, don't you think? I like it. Okay, cool. All right, guys. What do you think? I think the ZD3 and the ZA3 look really nice. I like these this copper knob. What do you guys think of that? I mean, they look so small. It's crazy, but they are bigger than the old V3, right? So the V3 still an awesome amp. So is this. You know what? So far, I've been really happy with the amps I've tested. Here's another thing that I thought was interesting is on the ZA3, I think the power they're marketing, the power level is actually a little bit less than this, just a little bit, because I think they show better THD numbers, so they tweaked it down to show less power, but yet higher THD, you know, going for that audio quality market. But the power with this bigger box with the heat sinking on the sides, we got to look inside these boxes, right? We got to do some testing. We got to look inside them and see what they look like. But, you know, this guy, and I'm not sure about the BT30 actually. I'm not sure if it has the Japanese and German parts in it. But yeah, pretty crazy. You know, and also the American Texas Instrument chip, right? Now, this DAC, it also has a really nice DAC processor in there, which I kind of mentioned the name, which I mentioned it's 32-bit. It's a Sabre. I think it's a company called ESS. It's, from what I understand, in the audiophile industry, they're the guys that are kind of knocking it out of the park. So let me know what you guys think about that, what you know about these things, and especially about the DAC. Yeah, I haven't tested DAC before, so that's going to be fun. But I'm pretty excited about getting this audio testing. These little small Class D amps are pretty impressive, right? We're going to design our own down the road, I know. It seems like a long ways away, but we are. So right now, we're testing this stuff to see how well it works. All right, guys, let me know what tests you guys wanted to see and all that stuff. And I got this big old brick. Look how big this brick is that came with this guy here, okay? This is the brick I bought to test this one. So, I mean, man, it's the size of the amplifier almost, right? Because power supplies are important. Just want to say that as a power guy. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.